Hello and welcome to another inspiring edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Audrey Williams. Today, we're celebrating the spirit of our heritage, and there's no better place to do that than right here at the National Gallery of Jamaica. I'm excited to turn the pages with you, but first, let's check out the latest stories from our newsroom. We will be right back.
Good day, I'm Lisa Rowe and this is your JIS News for Friday, October 17, 2025. The $274 million Montego Bay Perimeter Road is 80% complete and on track to be finished by May 2026. That's the word from Minister with Responsibility for Works, Robert Morgan, who says this does not include the Long Hill bypass. He gave the update on Wednesday during a tour of the roadway.
We're a little bit ahead of target. As the contractors have been moving a little bit faster than we have predicted, which is a good thing. We like to come in under budget and ahead of target, and I think that the work that we have done on this road is a testament to the collaboration between China Harbour, our local contractors, as well as the engineers, a lot of them who are from local companies, and the management of the National Road Operation and Construction Company. And I think it's an example of how we can build roads in the future.
He points out that the road has been asphalted, where before there was only aggregate. As it relates to opening sections of the road ahead of completion, Minister Morgan says any such plans would have to be guided by the safety of motorists.
We are putting in railings and other safety features to ensure that motorists who use the road are able to use it in a very safe way. It is an active construction site. So you wouldn't want to open the road too early and put persons' lives at risk. So when the time is appropriate and when we feel that we have put in the necessary safety measures and the paving has been done in a particular way, we will definitely announce that we're opening a section of the road to the motoring public.
Work to expand and upgrade the Savannah Lamar Public General Hospital in Westmoreland is advancing. Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton, discussed the progress during a recent press briefing at the S Hotel in Montego Bay. He says the project, which includes expanding the Accident and Emergency Department, establishing a minor operating theatre, and improvements to other critical areas, has reached procurement phase.
We are now in the process of going to market for a contractor. We're in the final stages of the full costing, and the intention once that is done is to go to market.
The project will start with the A&E department, which will have a diagnostic area, a laboratory, and additional space to ease overcrowding and improve patient care. The A&E area in the old building will create additional bed space. Minister Tufton adds that work to overhaul the hospital's sewage system is progressing, with qualified engineers being engaged to design a new system using modern technology.
We are now in the process of finding a new contractor with the appropriate technology to make the Savlamar Hospital sewage system functional. And I'm told that the bid documents are out. They're likely to be considered starting in a week or two, and hopefully we'll have an appropriate provider of that service before the end of this year.
Still on health, government is moving ahead with the introduction of the sterile mosquito insect technique as part of measures to protect the population against vector-borne diseases. Minister Tufton says the partnership to see this done continues between the ministry and the International Center for Environmental and Nuclear Sciences, ICENS, at the University of the West Indies, Mona. He says ICENS has now received the equipment to radiate the mosquitoes.
The piece of equipment has been acquired. It's now being tested, and in short order, we will have the implementation, at least on a pilot basis, of the sterile mosquito program to deal with the challenges that we have.
The first set of sterile mosquitoes are projected to be released in the fourth quarter of the year.
They will then mate with their opposite, and by extension not produce the eggs that can then breed into a mosquito.
Dr. Tufton gave the update in a statement to the House of Representatives on Tuesday. Meanwhile, even as the authorities note comparatively low dengue cases currently, the Minister of Health is urging members of the public to help ensure cases remain minimal. Persons are advised to monitor water storage containers for mosquito breeding and eliminate them, keep surroundings free of debris, and destroy or treat all potential mosquito breeding sites.
Personal responsibility, despite the efforts of the government, must become a priority now in the season. And we continue to reinforce the message that Jamaicans must search and destroy mosquito breeding sites, even as we lead the vector control measures. We must move with alacrity to search, destroy these breeding sites. Most of the times, 90% of the times, they are in and around the home, the backyard, the used tire, the tins, the vase, and the whatnot are in the kitchen.
Vulnerable persons, including the elderly, children, pregnant mothers, and persons with underlying medical conditions, are advised to wear protective clothing and use a mosquito repellent containing DEET. The third National Homeless Survey has been completed. The data is still being compiled, but Minister of Local Government and Community Development Desmond McKenzie says early findings indicate that there is an increase in the number of homeless people within downtown Kingston. He shared the update during a tour of the homeless population downtown on Tuesday.
The challenge that we have here is that there's a mixture of homelessness, and there are those persons who are drug addicts who use the disguise of the homeless to ply their drug trade and create problems within the space. The police have indicated the concerns as it relates to those who are involved in drugs and use the street for their cover to do unlawful acts.
Minister McKenzie stresses that while government remains committed to supporting the challenges faced by the island's most vulnerable, it will also support the police's efforts to clamp down on illegal activities.
We will be ensuring that those who want to go to the shelters can go to the shelters, but those who want to stay to do illegal activities, they will have to argue with the police on that one.
The National Homeless Survey, conducted from October 6 to 10, was led by the Social Development Commission in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and Wellness and municipal corporations across the island. The initiative forms part of ongoing efforts to better understand and address homelessness in Jamaica. It culminated with a series of activities held across parishes to mark World Homeless Day on October 10. And finally, Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, Olivia Grange, is the recipient of the 2025 Commonwealth Parliamentary Equality and Diversity Award. She becomes the first Jamaican parliamentarian to receive this recognition from the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, CPA. The award highlights Minister Grange's decades-long leadership in advancing gender equality, youth engagement, and inclusion of persons with disabilities, both locally and on the international stage. With over 30 years in politics, Minister Grange has championed key initiatives like the Sexual Harassment Act, state-run shelters for gender-based violence, and the National Strategic Action Plan to eliminate gender-based violence. In a statement responding to the honor, Minister Grange says she is humbled by the recognition, noting that her life's work has been about building a society where everyone can reach their full potential. The award was accepted on her behalf by Speaker of the House, Juliet Holness, at the recently concluded 68th Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference in Barbados. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lisa Rowe. Thanks for watching.
The Statistical Institute of Jamaica Statin will be conducting the 2025 Jamaica Survey of Living Conditions JSLC starting August 2025. For over 30 years, PIOJ analysis of JSLC data has helped to shape national policy, including on education, healthcare, and social support. When the JSLC team visits your home, participate. Your voice helps guide real solutions. For more information, visit statinja.gov.jm or WhatsApp Statin at 876-569-1083.
Thank you for staying with us. The National Honors and Awards ceremony takes place on Monday. And coming up next, we celebrate two of our very own awardees whose dedication and service continue to uplift and inspire the nation.
For nearly 4 decades, Paul Anthony Johnson has been the quiet force behind the hum of the JIS printry. His story, like that of Vita Mae Teresa McPherson, who has spent over 30 years shaping government news and public information, is one of resilience, humility, and devotion to Jamaica. Paul's journey began as a student at Charlie Smith High when the late Mrs. Hunter offered him a holiday job at the JIS. It wasn't a glamorous start, but it was the beginning of a story worth telling. Observing him from afar, one quiet workday we sat with Paul to learn more about his journey. Explaining how it all began, he shared how, for him, no task was ever too small. With one hand on a broom and one eye fixed on the print machines, Paul started building the foundation of what would become a lifelong career.
I received a note one morning just to learn the press, just to learn, get involved in the printing era.
That eagerness caught the attention of his supervisor, and soon he was collating pages, folding carefully, and step by step becoming a professional bookbinder. Today, Paul introduces himself with quiet dignity.
My name is Paul Anthony Johnson. I work at JIS Printer. My position is binder.
For Paul, the printer was never just a job. It was a place of growth, shaping not only his career, but his character.
I learned from people inside JIS. I learned how to humble. I learned how to talk to people. I learned how to conduct myself. I learned how to speak properly.
He also had to learn patience to get through tasks like the one where he had to produce 5,000 civil service award books in a single day.
At the time, there was 5 of us in the print shop, and it was not an easy chart.
Life outside of work was no less demanding, as he recalls walking many times when he had no bus fare or other means of getting to work.
It was a rough road, very rough. And I remember, and mercy God came through, and I pray for God to give me the strength and the courage, and God is so good to me.
After decades on the job, Paul learned he would receive the badge of honor for long and faithful service, an award and a moment that overwhelmed him.
I go into the bathroom and I cry. I say, thank you, Jesus. Because if it wasn't God, I would be here. Like I said, the road was rough, and I thank God to receive that award.
While Paul kept the printery running, Vita McPherson was quietly shaping how government messages reached the public. She joined the JIS in 1991 as a clerk in the regional department, sorting through reports and correspondence from parish offices across Jamaica.
They would send in their information with the reports and get stores equipment for them when they come in. While in that department, accounts was nearby, so Miss Goodall, Marcia Goodall, I think she was the director for admin and finance. Saw me on the computer all the time, and she asked me if I want to go upstairs and learn something else. I say yes, so I came upstairs and went to publications, started doing typesetting, do a lot of books. As the Prime Minister speaks, there was a book out. We did funeral programs.
As JIS evolved, so did she, moving from regional to publication and research, and now into public relations and marketing.
Still doing the placement of the ads for various ministries, print, electronic, billboards, the works. It's a good experience working at the JIS. You know, you have good and bad days, but you move on and you learn.
Among the many memories, a few stand out, one of which was the night former Prime Minister of Jamaica, P.J. Patterson, visited her department.
We were here doing, I think, the program for Michael Manley, and then we just hear somebody, the CEO at the time, said, gear up. The Prime Minister he was coming to sign off on the stuff that was like after 10, 11 the night. And he came, it was Mr. Patterson. And he came and he had to come in and all of that. A little excitement and, you know, yeah, that was good.
Through it all, Vita carried lessons she now passes on: patience, adaptability, and putting the organization first.
Just to be yourself. If you're here to do a particular job, try to do it at all times, the best of your ability. Always put in the entity first, because it's brand JIS, so you have to, in all aspects, you have to do your best, because it's not an individual person, it's the organization.
And that's why she was stunned when her own name appeared on the honors and awards list.
Well, you know, we're PR marketing, so I am the one that the information came to place. I didn't know my name was on there. It's a team member working on it, and she said, "Is your name that?" I say, "Where?" She said, "On the list." I say, "I haven't looked at the list, but may look." So I didn't have any feelings until the day of the publication. Soaking it in. I'm soaking it in.
Humble, steady, and devoted, Vita prefers the background, yet her impact is clearly remembered as a team player who embraced challenges and always delivered with quiet strength. 2 lives, 2 journeys. One in the printry, the other in public information. Different paths, but one shared mission: to serve the people of Jamaica with dignity, dedication, and heart.
In keeping with the spirit of Heritage Week, we now share a story with timeless lessons and values, a reminder of who we are and what we carry forward as a people.
One of my favorite family stories about Anansi is how Anansi had 6 sons, and each of them was given a name according to his special purpose. Like you and I have different purposes. And the first boy could have closed his eyes and see trouble anywhere in the world. So him name See Trouble. The second boy did like to build roads. So him name Road Builder. The third boy did always thirsty and did love river water. So him name River Drinker. The fourth boy was a fisherman who always have him little penknife, like Girl Scout and Boy Scout have, can cut anything wide open. The fifth child did love throw a stone, just pick up stone and fling it. And the sixth child had not quite discovered his purpose, but he was nice and soft and chubby and looked like a cushion, so them call him Cushion. And Anansi knew that being the father of all of these children, he had to be able to take care of them. So Anansi said, I'm going to set up a business And the three most important things about having a business is location, location, location. So one day Anansi dress up man in him fancy clothes like him is the father of the nation, and him gone out to find a location. But every day before Anansi would leave the house, he would stop by the door where he had his personal altar, and he would say a prayer, and he would ask for guidance. But this day, Anansi so anxious to go find the location, he ran out the door without stopping by the altar. And the first boy said, something not look right. I see trouble. And so it was. Anansi was gone for a long time. And one day, his wife called the children together and said, this is very unusual. Your father always come back, something not right. And the first boy closed his eye and said, I see trouble. I see father in a whole heap of trouble. And his brother them say, where? And him say, come we go look. And they went out on a search, and they walked for a long time until they came to a mountain that was so high they couldn't climb it. It was so wide they couldn't get around it. The second boy said, no worry yourself, man, I'm me the road builder, you know. And he made a road through the mountain. Well, it must have been raining on top of the mountain, because when them come to the end of the road, them see the river come down. And the third boy said, what am I afraid for? And me can drink up river. So him drink it up. And when him finish drink it up now, them see a big fish in the river bed, and him belly not look right. So the one with the knife say, I want to see what inside of that belly there. And he make a nice clean cut and out plopped Anansi. I must say him was the whale which swallowed Jonah and mistake Anansi. And them say, make us just step aside and make him breathe again. Wrong mistake, because they had exposed Anansi to the terrible sound they heard in the sky. And when they looked up, they saw a bird that they couldn't recognize. The bird have a long hook nose, you know, and the bird have red eye. You know, the kind of red eye that means grudgeful and bad mind. And the bird feather kind of blue and white. And the bird had his eyes trained on Anansi, and the boys them say, you know what he want? He want the coat that belonged to the father of the nation. Now we make it, we can make more, make him take it. But when he came down, that's not what he wanted. He wanted the father of the nation. And he pluck Anansi out of the coat and start fly away. So do I love throw a rock stone? Me and you today. And he pick up a stone, man, and him fling it. Inna the bird furry did catch. And the bird open his mouth, he say, why you wanna lick me? And Anansi fell out. And is falling to the ground. You see the one who never discover him purpose? When name Cushion, Cushion just roll over, man. And Anansi had a soft landing. And they took him home. What a great celebration, them find them father. Anansi say, I didn't find the location, but I found a treasure. And I want to give it to the boy who did the most to bring me back. What a passa, everybody say them. And Anansi say, here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to refer this dilemma to the Council of Elders. You see, once upon a time, we listened to our elders. And Anansi tell them, say, them can't figure out who must get the prize. And the elders told Anansi what to do. Because if you couldn't see trouble, you could have can build road from Dan to Beersheba. You wouldn't find me. And if when you build the road, you couldn't drink up the water. So the Council of Elders say that no one talent helped to find me. All of you put together helped to find me. So this thing that I have found, I'm to put it in the sky. In the day when you see it, you are to call it the sun. In the night when you see it, you are to call it the moon. But always when you see it, you must remember, we're brothers and sisters. We need one another.
Negril! The Government Services Mobile Fair is rolling into your community on Friday, October 31. Come to the Negril Beach Park, Norman Manley Boulevard for passport renewal, legal aid assistance, apply for birth certificates, road licenses, path benefits, new business registration, property tax and NWC services. Get information on the National Housing Trust, plus free health checks and much more. Come out and celebrate the Government of Jamaica Service Excellence Month as we bring government services to your doorstep.
Me glad to see you come back, boy. But Lord, you let me down. Me shame you so till all my proudness drop a grung. You mean fi say you go to America and spend 6 whole months there and come back not a piece better than when you did go away? When it comes to patois and speaking Jamaican dialect, no one did it better than Louise Bennett Coverley. This Heritage Month, we remember her legacy and remember where we are come from. And we're building on that foundation for a stronger future. Aye, aye, aye.
Go down a Manuel Road, Galam boy, to go broke rock stone, Galam boy. Finger must no cry, Galam boy. Remember the play with the play, Galam boy. One of the story of Big Boy is that Big Boy was in school and teacher Hawks, who died for Adam falling race, and Big Boy sat there and teacher direct this question to Big Boy, and Big Boy wouldn't answer. Big Boy's grandmother was behind him with her pin in her hat. And Big Boy wouldn't answer. And when grandmother heard that he wouldn't answer, she pulled the hat pin out and stuck him in the back. And he said, "Oh Lord Jesus Christ." And the teacher said, "What a bright boy." And very good Big Boy, because he felt this stick in his back, so he cried out for Lord Jesus Christ, but he didn't know that it was Lord Jesus Christ was the answer that teacher was looking for.
We're coming to you from the National Gallery of Jamaica, right here at the heart of Kingston's Cultural Center on the harbour. Established in 1974, this public art museum is home to some of the nation's most treasured works by renowned artists such as Barrington Watson, Albert Artwell, John Dunkley, Malika Capo Reynolds, and Edna Manley, just to name a few. Why is art important to our heritage? Because it captures the soul of who we are, telling our stories of struggle, triumph, and tradition in ways words alone cannot. Art keeps our heritage alive, evolving, and forever connected to the heart of the nation. That's where we wrap up today's show. I hope you've been both informed and inspired. Join us again tomorrow for another insightful and exciting edition of Jamaica Magazine. Now, if you missed any part of today's show, not to worry, you can catch the recap and plenty more stories at jis.gov.jm. I'm Audrey Williams. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.